This is WILT week 49, and 49 is also a square of sevens, and this is a square of sevens. Yeah, should be a good video. Hope you enjoy. Today is Monday, January 28th, and today I learned that UC Davis doesn't think its students are very smart. Let me explain this with a story. So, I was putting my bike away, and I was just, locking it up, looking around, scanning the area, making sure I don't get jumped. I'm just kidding, Davis is safe. Well, a year ago, it was safer, but it's overall pretty safe. And as I was scanning around, I noticed something. So here, you can see those are bike racks, but if you slowly turn the camera to the left, yep, there's a sign, and that's what it says. Just, in case you didn't know what this was. It's a bike rack, by the way, is where you park your bike. Yeah, UC Davis didn't think its students would understand that, so they were like, let's just put some signs that say this around the bike parking, just in case they've never seen, bike racks before. I would say that UC Davis has a reasonably high barrier of entry. They're not letting any Joe Schmo in, except my lab partner. Don't know what's up with that guy. But yeah, I think Davis students are fairly intelligent, so I don't understand why UC Davis was like, ooh, man, have you seen the students around here? They don't even know what bike racks are. We should put signs letting them know, because damn, they are not that smart. Or maybe this says something about us. Maybe we aren't so smart. Maybe a Davis student was like, hey, what are all these metal things around here? And UC Davis was like, oh, I thought you guys were smarter than that. Okay, we'll just put signs everywhere. That'll solve the issue. And then they put the sign up, and then that guy was like, oh, bike parking. Should've known that. There were other bikes around. Silly me, I only go to Davis. I can only be so smart. Today is Tuesday, January 29th, and today I learned how UC Davis takes care of major landscaping around campus. UC Davis, like any other college, has trees everywhere. Some trees are big and some trees are not so big. And trees are essentially just bushes on one giant stick. And as we know, bushes need trimming. You don't want those bushes to get too long. So that's where my learning point for today comes in. I learned how UC Davis cuts down those giant trees. Today I was walking around campus aimlessly when I saw this. This setup is a truck, a bunch of caution tape, one guy on the ground, and then if you swipe on up, one guy in the tree. And this setup right here is how they cut down those giant trees around campus. Well, they don't cut them down, they trim them. Because you don't want to cut off your entire bush and stick, you just want to trim your bush. Okay, so it's super interesting. There's like a watch guy on the bottom, and then the top guy does like fine cutting, but sometimes the bottom guy has this giant stick with like a blade on the end of it, and then he does some like, general clipping. Not like general clipping, like he's some officer or something. He just does like, clipping in a general fashion. So yes, today I learned how UC Davis does major landscaping, and make sure their bush doesn't get too long. I feel like it's kind of an uncomfortable topic, so I decided to take it upon myself to talk about it. I don't know why cutting trees is so uncomfortable though, but we got through it, so give yourself a pat on the back. Today is Wednesday, January 30th, and today I learned that these are called sweet gum. Sorry, 60-year-old me, they're not called those spike balls that end up all over our driveway, and I hate them. That's not their official name. Apparently the trees they grow on are called sweet gum trees, which is so ironic because sweet gum is something you chew on, whereas these are balls, which is, you don't chew on those, and then they're spiky, so you super don't chew on those. It's a double threat. What can I say? So yes, if you want to impress your suburban neighbors, these spike balls are not called ow, my foot. They're called sweet gum. So, wow 'em with that. Today is Thursday, January 31st, and today I learned that I'm not the only one that thinks my engineering class is a little bit mundane. I was in my engineering lecture today when I heard this noise. And when I heard that noise, I was like, great. there's a gas leak in the classroom. So immediately I was like, okay, it looks like I'm the only one that hears this, but let's see if anyone else does. So I looked around and I noticed that other people were hearing it too, because everyone was like craning their neck, turning, you know, all in their chair, making sure if they heard it too. And everyone did. And so I was like, great, awesome. So we all hear the gas. So we can all work together and find out how to work through this. But then I noticed that everyone was looking in a very specific spot. It was about 7 seats to my left. So I decided to crane my neck and see what was happening when I saw a student that looked like this. Yep, there was no gas. It was just a really loud sleeper. There was this guy, like, you know, 7 seats to my left, like I said, and he was just, you know, neck back in his chair leaned back all the way. Well, I mean, the chairs don't lean back, but if it did lean back, it would be fully reclined. But he was fully back, his neck looked like it was for sure gonna break, and he was just making this noise. And so everyone around him caught on, and we started like all looking and we started giggling. Well, I didn't giggle. I give big hearty laughs, like yeah, I do not giggle, okay? I mean, look at me. Do I look like a giggler? No. What does a giggler look like? So yes, today I learned that I'm not the only one that thinks that class can put me to sleep, because it obviously can do that. Today is Friday, February 1st, and today I learned that UC Davis is adding a whole new dining common to the campus. Today I was over in the Tercero area because I was getting brunch with my friend Ruby. And when I was leaving the area, I noticed that the building that they've been working on for like months now finally had a sign up next to it. And the sign said, Tercero Dining Commons 2. Yeah, they put all their creative minds together and they're naming Tercero's second dining common Tercero Dining Common 2. I can't even imagine what the board meeting to name that place must have been like, but if I was to guess, it'd be something like this. Alright, so I'm sure you both know why we're meeting today. No, actually we don't, because you pretty much never send out the agenda before the meeting, so we usually go into these things pretty blind. Yeah, that's pretty much the entire truth right there. Alright, cool. So, today, we are going to be in charge of naming the new dining commons over at the Tercero area. Oh wow. Yeah, that's actually pretty cool, right? And we have full creative control. So if you have an idea, just spurt it out. No bad ideas, people, okay? Ooh, I have one. How about it's time to dine? It's direct, sure, but it gets the point across. Okay, yeah, maybe there can be bad ideas. Travis, you got anything? What about Grillinium Falcon? And then we can say our service operates at light speed. Hey Trav? Yes sir. You know how I invited you to my wedding next week? Oh, how could I forget? I don't know how you're gonna top your first two, but I know you'll pull it off. Yeah, don't come. Wait, what? I'm saying don't show up, but I already bought your gift. I don't want it. How about we just name it Tercero Dining Commons 2? What did you just say? Oh, here it comes. I'm saying, can't we just add a 2 to the end of it? Johnson? It was nice knowing you, bud. That's the best damn idea I've heard all day. Thank you, sir. I'm sorry, but what the just happened? So yeah, that was WILT Week 49. Thank you so much for watching, Edward. Make sure you leave a like if you enjoyed. And before I ask this week's question, I just want to give a little more information about the dining common. I don't actually think the new dining common is going to be called Tercero Dining Commons 2, because later in the school year it was being advertised in the other DCs, and I'm pretty sure it had the name of like Pentagon or like Periscope or Perimeter. I don't actually know, but I think, like a long road trip, it starts with a P. So yes, don't worry, I don't think they created such a bland name for it. But actually, you know, I'm not really sure, so maybe they did. Maybe it'll be just straight up Tercero Dining Commons 2. I hope not. We're, decently creative. But yes, now to move on to this week's question. This week's question is, do you have any music that you could recommend to me? I'm doing a lot of driving for work. It's like 40 minutes there, 40 minutes back. So I'm looking for new music all the time. If you have any of it, I would love it down below. But I don't want to just, you know, take stuff. I want to give a little bit too. So I gotta tell you some of the songs I have been listening to. I think Alien Boy by Oliver Tree, that's a really good song. Ooh, Sam Smith, How Do You Sleep? That's a good song. Cigarettes on Patios by Baby Jake. That's a great song. I'll give you one more. I'll give you one more here. Oh, you know what? I'll give you this one, even though you probably know of it. Walkman by Tiny Meat Gang. Highly recommend listening to that. It's a great song. So yes, make sure you like the video and give a good song recommendation in the comments below. And I decided I'm gonna add one more thing to my outro. So here it is. Thank you so much for watching. That was WILT Week 49. Make sure you eat sweet and savory, and I'll see you next week for WILT Week 50.